Agents for you today. Dark Magician Buster Blader. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff I like to see. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Wow, you know, it has been a little while since we've actually seen like a working Dark Magician deck out here. Now, I mean, do keep in mind that the OCG doesn't have Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, which kind of a shame actually, because it is one of those cards that does tend to make this deck really kind of function and come together in my personal opinion. I see that we are playing the Mystical Elf White Lightning. We're also playing one copy of Mahad. That's actually really cool to see Mahad actually seeing some value. We're also only focusing on 2 basic Dark Magicians, which I think is fine. You don't want to try to overload too much with the bricks. Trust me. There are some very strong bricks you can do. We are playing 1 Secret Village here. We are doing 1 copy of the Secrets of Dark Magic, and then, of course, the additional 1 down here in the side deck. And then, of course, you do see the triple Illusion of Chaos. I mean, this is still the heart and soul of the deck, all right? Like, this card helps push you in so many different directions. It's kind of crazy. And we are actually playing 1 copy of the Dark Magician Girl in here as well, which is pretty cool. And we're actually playing a Waking the Dragon down here as well. I guess in some strange world, you know, hey, little assets and things you can kind of pull off for this deck seems really cool. Also, shout out to main decking the one of Red Reboot out here. Even in a vacuum format like this, you know, having this main deck just so you can kind of go ahead and do your power plays seems relatively strong in my opinion. So, good stuff to this. All right, we have Agents. You know, this deck, I really wish that we would get the chance to see more of this in the TCG, because this deck is always kind of fun in my personal opinion. I do see that we have opted to actually side the Sanctuary in this guy. Most of the builds I feel like do want to try to have this in the main, but this build just doesn't really need to have the push for this. We're actually side decking the Access Code Talker for the OTK. And we're actually playing a Crossroads Dragon in here to actually be able to resolve this. I mean, 2 monsters with different types to make this, that's actually incredibly easy because, I mean, most of this, you have the Sprite sub-functionality in here as well. You'll be hitting the keynotes for this pretty much all day long. And hi, we are playing Ib in here, just to be able to search for the World Legacy Succession extension or the ability to get out our little friend along the way here. But, you know what? I'm actually pretty impressed with this. We're also side decking the Master Hyperion down here as well. So, depending how you go through the combo lines and whatnot for the basic builds, you should be able to hit pretty much everything you need. Hi, Chaos Angel. I'm so glad that you're basically a generic free monster in this deck. I think most of your ratios for this are fine. Yeah, you do play the 1 of this to be able to recycle the Shine Balls. So basically, you should be able to cycle through all your vanilla stuff. And since we are playing the Aslopescu, we can OTK. Yay! Alright, Buster Blader. What in the world is this? Well, first of all, we're playing 60 cards. Like, that's a lot to kind of pack into 1 deck here. But to be honest with you, like, you're not doing grass plays, you're making sure that you can cycle through. Let's take a look at like an opening hand here. Like, what do you've got the prologue here, you have double Starleash Seifert, and you do have 1 Destruction Sword of Memories. Okay, I mean, this is going to turn into something somewhere along the way so you can be able to try to combo up. This just feels like, oh, we did get you got the 1 of Lubellion here in this opening hand. I feel like looking at this, also like being able to sub-Buster Lock your opponent is pretty cheesy. I feel like this is a consistency nightmare, though, when you're looking at the way that this deck is structured, because you're just going to run into some pretty big issues along the way. If you're able to, like, genuinely filter through a lot of options, Snake Eyes doesn't really have an out to be able to, you know, break this card. And I think that's genuinely one of the reasons why a deck like this is able to do so well in the current scope of the game, because Borland is just insane. But it's also, you know, the OCG still has triple Chaos space available to their card pool as well. So, you know, with all of this extension combo power available, you're going to be able to clear out fields and break scenarios that you might not have necessarily thought you'd be able to do with this. It's kind of crazy to see how different this creature is. Now this is really cool. First of all, 54 cards for the Igknight turbo pile here. And of course, I really wish the TCG would get to play something like this, because the OCG still has the crazy power that is Isolde. You know, being able to just go full Igknight, Dumperoo, and then toggle on into, you know, whichever little sub-package line of things you're going to need to go through here, actually is incredibly crazy. And we're actually playing the Igknight Lancer. Target 3 Igknight cards you control, destroy them, and do some of this card. Then we can target one other Igknight monster you control, return it to the hand, and if you do place one spell and trap card your opponent controls in the bottom of the deck. This is actually, to actually see that we are playing Igknight Lancer is actually kind of crazy. I don't think we're ever actually going to be bringing this out. It's probably going to be like a massive pendulum summon or a push to try to unload this thing, but I mean, it is a 7 anyway, so that's not going to be happening. But that's a heavy summoning condition. I also see that we are doing the Bull Iron in here. Your little free warrior extension. Basically, this deck is just how fast can we get to the Isolde to be able to turbo dump and do your thing. I see we also have some heavy board breakers in this side deck here, man. Like the triple or the double Raigeki, the triple Dark Hole. You have the Phantasmes for the draw power. You've got a lot of craziness going on with this deck. Kind of cool to actually see. Next up here, Snake Eyes Purely. I need you to process that entire statement. Go, what did you just say, Robbie? Yes. Basically, you're doing this little Snake Eyes combo with Pobbler here to... I don't even know what we're doing here. Like, what is your purpose? I guess maybe do sub-little ply lines with this. Go through Heat's Hold to try to draw some cards. Like, there is so much to take in with the idea that is this deck that, like, I don't know. Like, this Purely stuff is kind of cute in here. You know, you figured maybe you'd try a little bit more of the Purely combo lines, but, like, I feel like they just were like, hey, you know, let's put Snake Eyes in this deck. Snake Eyes cards are broken. You know, you can take advantage of all of these good power cards to be able to do all of this stuff. And then you have this concoction born out here showcasing, you know, hey, you can play this and have this actually work. I suppose. Okay. Next up. Yes, the 60 card Grass Looks Greener, one of Block Dragon special out here. We've seen our fair share of rock decks showing up in the meta out here as people try to find ways to, you know, make this stuff work. And of course, you do see Big Binky here with the Wakashi. You still have the Scarecrow fully legal in the OCG. Still boggles my mind that the OCG still has this card available for whatever reason. And, you know, they're going to continue to try to find reasons to make this card be good. We are doing Yield Fossil Fusion plays in here. So, yes, you do have the fossil stuff and the Weathering Soldier in here. Just to make sure that, you know, you can actually get to the Skull Buggy in here. Just so you can kind of, you know, do some little sublines along the way. But very, very cool just to see, like, the power that the Earth Rock style deck still is going for. And I really do wish that, you know, we had Block Dragon to be able to try out some of these more innate ideas. Next up here, Tempest Dragon, Blazing Cartesia, Centurion. What in the world is this pile? So I believe we've reached a point in my dueling career here. You have Expulsion in this deck, so we can hand our opponent a Gimmick Puppet. Man, this is like we've taken all of the good packages that exist in the format. We toss them at the wall, and we see whichever sticks to try to make the most optimized results. Yeah, that's definitely what this feels like. I see we have the different dimension ground in here as well. Citing the Lightning Storms and the Raigeki is pretty standard stuff here. You do see the Centurion Wake Up in here. And of course, your Tempest Dragon lineup in here is just some one-ups, actually. Like, this is so crazy just to see, like, the ideas that you can bring together for a deck like this, and ideally just have it work. That's all there is to it. Interesting. And then we have, hello Rika, how are you? You have Rika Naturia here. I love the fact that, you know, this little plant insect support that you already naturally have built into this works. You also have a very small Aromage package in here. And then, of course, the OCG does get to play the maximum number of sacred trees to be able to do some pretty devastating stuff. And this Rika extension packages that this deck has going for it, I think is very, very strong. And I think that, you know, being able to beast your opponent for these basic end boards to be able to punish your opponent should probably put you in a very strong position. So, not a lot else to talk about today. A lot of crazy ideas, that's for sure. So please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.